Please, can you see my screen? Hello? Please, can you see my screen? Just can just give a thumbs up. So, all right. So yesterday, sorry, welcome to session three. Yesterday we could not take section three because of uh, some unforeseen circumstances. We are sorry for that. So today we'll continue with session three. We've done session one, introduction to Flutter, and we've done section two. We spoke about widget and some Flutter layout. So there we did some example. So today we're looking at session three. Session three is all about building Flutter application using platform specific widgets. Like last time we discussed about specific widget, which is the material design and the Cupertino design. The material design is specific for Android, while the Cupertino is specific for iOS. So in this session, what you were able to learn is um, you need to understand about the scaffold and the app bar, and then I will describe what is meant by bottom navigation bar, and then I will describe the tab bar and the tab bar view. Then I will describe the list style. Then we will identify some different types of buttons and explain them. Also, we'll also define some user input widgets, and then we'll do example of date pickers and dialogues if the time permits, right? If the time permits, we'll go through this. Don't forget, this is just a boot camp, and we cannot compress all the topics in Flutter into just 5 days, right? So it's just a 5 day boot camp, and already we skipped yesterday, so meaning we'll skip out 1 day from our 5 day boot camp. So just try to get along, and I cannot go to the future to teach you. I need to start from the basics so you understand what is Flutter, what you can do with it, right? So, and then we progress to next level, to advanced level as we go on in this program. So, in this session, what is the goal of this session in particular, right? So, the goal of this session is all about you understanding um, the Flutter platform specific, which means that based on platform use, we'll produce different output, right? Based on the platform you are using, there will be different output in the UI, mostly in the UI. Uh, in our session one, I said something that when you pick up an iOS phone, right? If you pick up an iOS phone and you pick up an Android phone, the UI are not the same. There's always differences in the button style, the text style, the text appearance. So these are just the differences in the platform specific, and that is the goal of this particular session. So this session will introduce you to some widgets such as scaffold, such as app bar, bottom navigation bar, and the tab bar, and so on. And finally, we'll conclude this session with user input and example of date pickers and dialog box, like prompting box when you want to do something, take an action, and you click on a button and something just pop up like wow, and then it asks you, do you want to quit? Yes or no. So that's what they call a dialogue. So first, let's start with the almighty scaffold, right? Scaffold. Scaffold is a built-in widget in which all visual layouts are implemented. It is also utilized to form basic structure of an application's functionality. Now, what does this mean? I'm trying to make this class very simple as possible for everyone to understand. I don't want to use too much big grammar, too much English. Um, I expect all of us here to be a kind of maybe slow learners, so I'm trying to make it very simple as possible. Right? Sometimes I will read the text for you and then try to break it down to the lowest term. Scaffold is like a blackboard in your class, right? Where teacher writes something for you on the blackboard and then explain. So a scaffold is that blackboard. It's like your screen. Now, in terms of development now, look at your screen. The four corners of your screen is your scaffold, right? So whatever you see on that screen are now the elements. You can now see text, you can now see button, you can now see uh, app bar, you can see bottom navigation bar, and so on, right? So everything is placed inside the scaffold. So your screen is called the scaffold. The white background, the background of your screen is the scaffold. So using scaffold, it is possible to implement functional widgets such as floating action button, app bar, drawer, bottom navigation bar, and many other widgets into an application, right? So everything you can press on the screen, everything you can touch, everything you can click on the screen is placed inside your scaffold. So let's look at app bar. We are all familiar with app bar. App bar is a major component of scaffold and it is displayed horizontally on the topmost section of the screen. It is often used to display the title of the application, right? So in most application, you see before every other content on the screen, you always see an app bar that shows like the topic, like the subject, like the name of the app on the top of the bar. These things, I'll show you an example, right? So if you look at this figure here I'm displaying, you see the scaffold and you can see what the scaffold contains, right? So it contains a lot of other widgets, the floating action, the body, the bottom sheet, uh, the drawer. We have a lot of other widgets, background color that can be integrated into this um, scaffold, right? Now, another example is the bottom navigation bar. Now, all these elements are placed inside your scaffold. I'm giving some theory background, then we'll go into practical and see how these things are being implemented. So bottom navigation bar resembles the app bar, right? The app bar at the top, the bottom navigation bar at the bottom of the screen. And then you have the body, which is now the content that you want to place in your application, right? So the bottom navigation bar resembles the app bar, but it is displayed at the bottom section of the page or of the screen. You can say can call a screen as a page as a screen. It is possible to use bottom navigation bar or bottom app bar widget on scaffold. Scaffold is the main screen. Bottom navigation bar are the components attached into your screen. Right. So let's look at um, an example here of this navigation bar, scaffold, and app bar. So this code snippet I've given here will demonstrate it in practical. So let me open my Android Studio. Please hope you can hear me. Can you all hear me, please? You can just indicate by like thumbs up. Just give me thumbs up if you can hear me, please. So let me know you are following. Anyone hearing me? All right, thank you. So let's go back to I'm waiting for my Android Studio to come up. Android Studio. Uh, what is happening? Okay. This was our previous demo. So I'll continue working with this demo. I don't want to create a new Flutter application. So I'll just continue with this demo. Let's add a class. Let's call it my stateful widget. Right. So here, new. Right. Don't forget this is our lib folder. This is where all your source code are going to be placed on the lib folder. So here you create a new dat file, right? Dat file. So let's call it my uh, stateful widget. Right, going to be a stateful. So stateful widget. My stateful. Let's give it stateful widget. All right. So here I've talked about stateful. Why am I using stateful? Because there will be some changes in this program as you use. I'm not defining any static component here. So I'm using a stateful widget because I want things to be dynamic, right? So here is our build context where we write our scaffold. So here we're going to define our scaffold here. Scaffold system is a little bit slow. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so here we create our scaffold widget, scaffold as background, sorry. So in the scaffold, what do we have? We have our background color to be amber and we have our app bar, right? So in the scaffold, let's define our background color. Like I said, the scaffold is the background of your application, okay? So scaffold um, it's like your room, and then you want to decorate that room with different items. You want to put your monitor, you want to put your chairs, you want to put your calendars, you want to put things in the room. So see the scaffold as the room and every other component as element inside your room. So now we have our scaffold defined. Now in the scaffold, we want to add a color to our background, right? So first of all, I'm going to run this application. My system is a little bit slow. I don't know what is going on today. system is just too, I don't know, because I think I've increased the font size. Please, oh, we are all seeing my screen, right? Hello, everyone. Can you just respond if you can still see my screen? Yes, all right, thank you. Okay, so let's go back to application. My system's a little bit slow in package material data. So let's do background color. Right, so let's take amber. We are still having error. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. All right. So first, let's run this application to see what we have. So here we need to, we created application before, all right, in our first class. I'm trying to run my emulator, turning on my emulator now. So in our first class, we created this application, which is being generated for us automatically by Flutter, and then we play around with the layout, right? We play around with the layout from our last section. So this was what we did, and just to change the background, we changed some of the text, and then we did some alignment from our previous class. So today we'll continue from here, but now I'm not going to use this same page. We've created another page called my stateful widget. So here we need to bring the my stateful widget into this into our main app, right? So our main app is the one to, run whichever screen you want your users to see at first is what you need to bring here, right? In this home, what do you want user to see first when your screen is running? This is where you're going to put it, right? So for us here, we need to change this to my stateful widget, my stateful widget. I need to import it. It should import automatically. What do we call our class here? My stateful widget. All right. So let's just import the class. All right. So let's run our class now. Let's run our project. So always, when you are running your project, while it's running, always look at your log. This is where you see if anything has gone wrong in your application. So here you will need to pay attention to your log. Very important to see what is going on in your application. Very important. All right. So you can see launching that start running, and it start with the main, right? As I said, the main is the starting point of your application. And in the main, we've added our my stateful widget. So meaning in main, we want this class to run first, right? We want this class to run first, and that is why we have the home here. If we switch it to any other page, that page will be the page the user is going to see. So what we've done while it is running is we've created this class. We call it my stateful widget, and the only thing we've done is to create a scaffold, which is the background, like where we want to, the house where we want to put in every other component in our application. And then the background color, we just give our board, our dashboard, our class, our room, an amber color, right? Just the decoration, we just give it this color. So then we can go ahead and add other components. I'm waiting for it to come up. Sometimes when you are running your application for the first time like this, it will take a little bit of time because it's trying to gather a lot of, get some dependencies here, get this library, and then try to, deploy everything together. So for the first time, it takes time a little bit, and then after that, uh, it will run. So what next can we add? Okay, let's add our app bar. Right, in our app bar we have the text. Okay, scaffold example. So here while it's running, we've decorated with this amber color. So now I want to add an app bar, right? An app bar. Okay, so always put your comma when you want to add a new component, want to add a new widget, right? Let's use widget because that is the convention here. Whenever you want to add a new widget, always add a comma to your previous widget, and then this thing is going to be in vertical order, right? Just like the way you are seeing here. When we have amber, but we have layout for that, like our multi-chart layer, the column and the row, which I did explain last time. So if you didn't watch the previous video, please, uh, before coming here, try to watch the previous video so that you understand some things here. So app bar, which we know, let's add a title to our app bar. Then we have app bar, and then we have a title. So let's give it title. Let's call it scaffold. Text, of course, is going to be a text. Text. Let's call it scaffold. Scaffold title. Right. So here in our app bar, we are going to have a scaffold as the title. So my system is a little bit slow today, so please just try to be patient with my system. I don't know what is going on, but you can see from the log, the app is coming up, the build is running, and then it's installing. And you can see from the image has changed, so it's trying to load our current UI. So it's installing. So let's just be a little bit patient while it comes up. Okay, our app. It's come up, so it's still loading. Right, so this is just our, so this is default, just like a splash screen, and you're just seeing this logo here. uh, don't worry about splash screen and every other thing. These things we will discuss later as we progress in our course. So let's wait for it to come up fully. Don't worry, after this build, the next build, subsequent build will not take so much time. First build always takes a little bit of time to come up, depending on your system speed as well. Okay, so if you have a very high speed system, uh, it might be faster than what you are seeing right now. So the speed of your system contributes also to how fast your app is going to run for the first time. So finally, okay, so you can see we are not seeing the app bar guest. Okay, so we are not seeing the um, title initially because the background color was amber, so everything becomes the same color. Everything became the same. So now you can see our scaffold. This is the title, right? So we can center it. You can place it anywhere you want. Center title. True. It's a boolean. Okay, see, our title has gone to the center of the screen. So this is just the scaffold. You can see this is the scaffold, and at the top we have our app bar, and the app bar we give it the title as scaffold title. So that has taken like let's say 2% of the screen already. Now we have the body. We are left with the body, and also we have the bottom to place things at the bottom of our screen. So now we have what we call the body, right? So look at the scaffold again, like you trying to write a letter, right? A letter to someone. You have your address, you have the body of the letter, and then you have the signature at the bottom. Okay, so this is how you can segment a letter, right? The same way, this is how you can segment your scaffold. Like the top is your title, which is the app bar. Then the body contains your layout, could be any component, could be button, could be text, could be images. And then the bottom contains your navigation bar. So where you can place your tabs. If you want to go from here, navigate to this page, go to this page, go to this page, log out, menu, this, and other things that you want to place. So the body will now contain other uh, components, right? So in the body, let's just have a text. Let's just add a text. Let's center a text here. Okay. right? We call child. Center is a single child layout. I discussed this last time. Single child layout meaning you can take one, it has just single one child layout. So if this was like column or row or stack, we have children, which can accommodate all other widgets that you want to place on your screen. So for now, we just want to center a text on the screen. So child, let's say text. Okay, text. Let's say hi, happy learning Flutter. Happy learning Flutter. So when we hot reload, okay, we can see happy learning Flutter. I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger so that, all right, I guess this is too big. Let me cut some of, let's go for 30. Okay, so here we can see in the body, we have our text. Hi, happy learning Flutter. You can display anything, you can do anything you want on this screen. Believe me, we can have a complex widget just more than we have in a single text. Of course, you can never download an app that have just a single text on the screen. So we can have multiple child being displayed to form a very simple and appealing UI. Then we have our bottom navigation bar. We have our bottom navigation bar, right? So here we're going to add our bottom navigation bar, like I explained. Bottom navigation bar is just to simplify navigation, right? You want to move from one page to another page. You want to simplify how you can move from this page to this other page in just one screen, right? You're in the home screen, but want to move to like 3 different pages, 4 different pages in what just one single screen. That's the purpose of bottom navigation bar. So right after your body, okay, center of your bottom navigation bar. Okay, bottom navigation bar. Right. So items here it means that it's an array, right? You can text in a lot of items, right? That's why you're seeing items in plural. Plural. You can add a lot of items um, into this bottom navigation bar, right? So I've opened our brace, meaning that I'm ready to add in multiple tabs. So first we have one. Okay, one is icons for home, right? Let's add one. And also remember that you cannot have just one navigation bar. It wouldn't make any sense to just have just one navigation bar on the screen, right? At least Flutter recommend having three, four, or five. 3, 4, 5 is fine. Okay, so don't just have one navigation bar on the screen. It wouldn't make any sense to the users, right? So always place 3, 4, or 5. I think maximum is 6 or 5, 6. Don't just make it too cluttery on the screen, it will not also make sense. Just define important pages on the screen, right? So bottom navigation bar item, right? So we have icon. Let's add icon. Icons dot home. Let's place home. Okay, see, so one beautiful thing about Flutter is that Flutter already um, have all these icon designs for you. So it's just for you to uh, integrate it and then just use it, right? Even with one, we can see that we cannot even have just one uh, items. You can see we have an error here. And if you read the error, you can see that um, items length is must be greater than or equals to 2, right? So item length greater than or equals to 2 is not true, meaning I'm just having just one icon, just one navigation item on the screen, which is doesn't make sense, like I said. So Flutter recommend 2, 3, 4, 5, and maximum should be 6. Okay, so we are having this error because we just add only one navigation. If you look at our log here, you can see failed assertion, items length greater than or equals to 2 is not true, right? This is false. That is why we have this error, right? So I'm going to add another item, bottom navigation bar item, icon. Okay, let's see what icon we have here. Search icon. All right, icons dot search. Okay, right, we are missing something. We don't have label. Okay, so we need to label our uh, icons. So you see, Flutter make it simple. So every error comes with explanation. You just need to pay attention to every log, to every error you see on the screen, right? Every item must have the non-null label. Okay, so you can see that we don't have label in our icon, so we need to place a label. Label just means a name. Everyone doesn't understand some icon, right? I can just draw something and I need like alternative text to it. What does it mean? So this is where we have our label. So let's call it home. This is home. And here, label, search. Okay. So let's hot reload. Okay. So finally, here we have our navigation bar. You can see our navigation bar on the screen, home and search. So let's add one more. Let's add one more bottom navigation. Let's call it, what do we have here? Camera. Okay. These are the camera icon. So you want your users to directly take camera from the home screen. So let's go for camera. All right. Then let's label. Don't forget. Call it camera. Okay. So you can see uh, we have our three. We have our three tabs right now. Our bottom tabs are being enabled, and this is showing red because this is the the default one. This is where the active button right now. We are on a home. So whenever we shift this, so we will write code for when you're on the active button, color should change to red, change to this color, whatever color you want. You can always decide on how to do that. So here you can see that we've created our class, our page. This is just a page, and this page, we give this page an amber color. And in this color, in this page, we create our app bar, right? The title of our page, and then we give some context, like the text in the body. The body, what do you want to define in the body? We can add so many things here, and we add our bottom navigation where users can easily switch from one tabs to another. So you can always add more options into your application. Okay. Okay, so let's go forward and let's add the floating action button. Let's just add one. All right. So we do this after our bottom navigation. We have a floating action button. Right, floating action button. Let's go for icon. Let's add an icon. Icons that add. Okay, boom. Here we can see our uh, floating action button. So you can see the our page here is trying to make some sense. Okay, happy learning Flutter. So here on press, we are not adding anything in the on press for now. Later we'll add something. So when you tap on the floating action button, what should happen? Okay, so we are not doing that for now. All right. So, and then we can add what we call floating action button location. Where do you want to place this? Where do you want to place this icon? Okay. So, okay. Let's um, let's follow up. I'm looking at the time spent. We are supposed to spend just 1 hour for this class. Already, we've spent okay. So let's proceed. If you have any question, please try to drop it in the comment section or in the in call message section. I shared my contact with you. You can always boss me on WhatsApp if you have any complaint, any challenge that you are facing. So you can always you know you can always tell me anything you have as a challenge. All right, please, you can go ahead and ask your question. Who raised hand? Please ask your question, please. Good afternoon. Yes, I did that on the first. I will drop it again so you can send message directly if you have any challenge. All right. Okay, so let's proceed. After this, I will end the class so that because it's getting too long, so we can able to understand. So after this example, I will end the class. Then we'll continue tomorrow. Right? Like I said, it's just a 5 day boot camp. We can't compress everything into just 5 days. Like there's a whole lot of topics we need to learn, and it's very interesting. And like I said, Flutter is very simple and it's interesting. It's not that complex like other frameworks outside there. Okay, so let's add floating action button location. Okay, so after this, always add comma so that you can understand where you want some things to be. Floating action button location means where do you want to place your floating action bar, right? So if you say center dock, yeah, so you can see it has come to the center of the screen. So here you can play with a lot of functionality if you want, right? So we can see center dock, center float, center top, end container. You can play with all these. You can see there's a whole lot of it that Flutter have. You can always play with it and then position your floating action anywhere you want. So let's just put it at the center. Let's use center dock. I prefer let it be on the center, right? Then let's move toward what we call drawer, right? Drawer. Drawer is like your Gmail account, for instance. When you go to your profile, you want to see your profile, okay, you see your name, you see your email address, and you see other contact. You can see inbox, spam, new, and other things. That's what drawer is always used for. So when you have a lot of components in your application, you can always use a drawer to reduce the number of pages that you might create in your application, right? So let's see how we can utilize a drawer. Okay, right, this is drawer, and just try to follow. If you want to ask any question, please just raise your hand and ask. Okay, drawer also have a whole lot of other components. You can see the background color, you can see the shape, elevation, semantic label, shadow, the child. Okay, so we might not be able to use all the components, all of them. So let's just use some of the components, right? So let's first go with elevation, right? So elevation, right? So I always like to read this. So it is the coordinate at which to place this drawer relative to its parent, like the z coordinate. Elevate, just from the word elevate, right? How closely do you want to place this to the parent? Uh, the parent, you know, component is all about this elevation. So let's just give it 20. It's not always much, and the difference is not it's not always much, believe me. So let's go for child, and let's use a column because we want to list some things uh, vertically on the screen. Okay, we want to list things vertically on our screen. Okay, so of course, when you always open the drawer, you always see um, things are being listed horizontally. And then to indicate that our drawer has been added, you can see here, when I click here, you can see now we have just white. There's nothing display. We've not added anything yet on our drawer. If we click out, it will disappear, and you click again, it will appear. That is our drawer. So these three slash line indicates our drawer has been added. So first, what should we add to our drawer? Let's add user account drawer header, right? Where you always have the information of your, like example, I'm still using the Gmail example. So here you see how this thing really works. All right. So here, first widget children should be user account header, user account drawer header, right? This guy. So this is what we are going to use. Let me bring it down so that we can. So user account uh, header. So this is where this is the parent, and this is what your elevation was trying to adjust with, right? Adjust with the parent. So this is the parent, and what we can have here is like the title of your account. You can add your email, and you can add some color to this. So what should we call this? What should we call your account, right? So let's give it X. Someone talking? Anybody asking question, please? Hello? Please, if you're not asking, please you can mute your mic so that others can benefit. So let's go back to our application. So text, email address. So let me use my email address here. All right. So account name, account email, and then this is our account email. So what next do we have again? Current account picture. Okay, let's add it. Current account picture. So for now, we are just going to use an avatar. So let's use circular avatar. Okay. So what do we have any? Background just blue. Okay. Let's just have background colors dot blue. Okay. And we have, what do we have here again? All right, child as text. And I'll just use text. Okay. Child to be text. Okay, we are having some. Let's see what we are missing here. Okay, we are missing out something. So here, expected to find a comma, expected to find this. Okay, let's see what we are missing. Okay, so it's fine. We are missing our closing brace. Let's see. All right. So here we can see our drawer has been added. So this is our current account picture that we want here. User, you can use image as the child. We just decide to use a text for now. And this is our account name, and this is our email address. So this is how you can just do your profile, just like what we have in your Gmail. Something like this is as easy as that, right? So then we have other component like list style. You can now begin to add uh, things into your. Okay, let's just do it. I know we are behind time, but let's just add some components into our. Let's add a list style inside our drawer. Okay, column drawer. Here we have list style. Our list style is here. So this is also this can take multiple widgets, right? Like you can see title and then like a leading icon. So let's just play with it now. Let's just play with one and see how it works. Title. Let's add the text. And what do we call this? What do we call this? Inbox. So let's call it inbox, for instance, inbox. And let's add a leading icon. Icon start. What do we have here? Mail. Okay, let's use mail. All right. So share mail. So when we come back to our, did I hot reload? See this type 2. Okay, hold on. All right, so I think it was, the color was white, so that is why this was not showing initially. Okay, so let's add a divider here. Divider. Let's give it a height of 0.1. So I'm just going to copy this and paste after just the divider. So here let's have another, let's say, what do we have here? Primary. Let's follow it accordingly, just that, so it will make some sense. Primary. So icon will just be inbox dot inbox. All right. So all right. So inbox, and then we'll just copy this again. Right. So it's a list style. We can always have as much as we want. Let's just be careful. Divider first, and then let's take this. Okay, what do we have next is social, icon, and people. So let's call this social, and then let's call this people. So you can keep adding a lot of icons, a lot of list to it. So some of these widgets, we explain how you can use some of them later on. So basically, this is our scaffold, and you can see how we have decorated the scaffold with a lot of widgets and other components just to make it look like um, a real page, right? Make it look like a real page. So this is a drawer, and these are the components of our drawer. So you can add as many list style as possible if you want to add other things into your page. So when I was preparing this slide, it's just an example of what we just did. Okay. uh, Colors might be different, and text colors might also be different, but this is just exactly what we did. This is our app bar where we have our application title, then we have our drawer, and then we have our text widget in the center of our scaffold, right? And then we have our floating action button, and then we have our bottom navigation on the screen. So it's a whole lot already for this class. So in next class, we will continue with the tab bar and the tab view bar and see how we can also play with these widgets and how it is being used in Flutter. So please, if we have any question, anyone any question want to ask anything. So we'll see in next class tomorrow. Please, let's join on time so that we can conclude and do so other things on time. All right, thank you. See you tomorrow.